Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. Tri-Brigade Lyrilusc is back, literally my favorite deck of all time, and I'm going to revisit it and explain it. Because, honestly, this deck is incredibly well positioned as of right now. Now, why is that? Well, because it's just a good deck. Now, it doesn't necessarily have anything particularly good going for it, but it's the fact that it can kind of do anything. It's not insanely well positioned, but I do think that it is now a top tier strategy, as in, like, maybe tier 2? I don't think it's the best Tri-Brigade list. That's still Tri-Sprite, which honestly might be one of the best decks currently in the format. But it is still very strong. The Tri-Brigade monsters, most notably things like Shureg, happen to be very good. The ability to go into Zeus is also incredibly advantageous in the current metagame, and having target protection, specifically with things like Smorg, is very good against things like, I don't know, Fenrir. So, all of that really makes it very nice. On top of that, it does have quite a few flex spots in the ability to play things like Nibiru and Triple Tack, which happen to be very strong at the moment, which makes it pretty decent. Blazz's strategy is very different from a lot of other ones, and makes it difficult for the opponent to actually play against them, and a lot of people will just see your Tri-Brigade cards and just immediately scoop. I don't know why they do this, but they do. Is Tri-Brigade hated in the OCG or something like that? I don't know. Maybe it is. Anyway, let's quickly do the card by card and the explanation. Starting off here with the Tri-Brigades, we're obviously playing the triple Nerval. We're also playing 1 Kairos, 1 Kit, and 2 Fractal. Now, that seems a bit low, but the reason for this is because mostly we're focusing on the Lyriluscs. We're also playing 2 Tenki in order to search out the Fractal. That's basically it. The reason 2 Tenki instead of 3 is mostly due to consistency things. I'd rather have, I never really feel like I'm inconsistent, and getting Fractal isn't too important to me, so I'd much rather have other non-engine pieces, like, for example, the Crossout Designator for Maxi, the second Nibiru, or the third Triple Tack, or stuff like that. So it's kind of just like a trade-off. You can absolutely play it if you want to, just cut a non-engine piece. It's pretty simple. Moving on to the Lyriluscs, we are playing ourselves the 2 Cobalt Sparrow, because for some reason both this and Fractal are limited to 2. I do not know why. Konami, you just had ban list. It was a good ban list. You only unlimited like 1 card. There are like over 10 cards that need to be unlimited. What happened? What happened? Anyway, yeah, Cobalt Sparrow was missed, Fractal was missed, but here we are. So we're playing the 2 Cobalt Sparrow, we're playing the triple Sapphire Swallow, the triple Turquoise Warbler, the triple Barrel Canary, and only 1 Celeste Wagtail. Yeah, Celeste Wagtail is nice, but it's not too great, and oftentimes you're only needing the 1 anyway, so it's much better to not have another dead card in your hand. That's basically it. We're also, of course, playing the triple Bird Call. And then we have the 1 search target that isn't a Lyrilusc or Nerval for our Recital Starling, which is DD Crow. Honestly, this card isn't great in the current metagame. It's not bad, though. It, like, interacts kind of with the Bestials, but then it also puts a Dark into the graveyard for them anyway, so it's not, like, it's not terrible, but it's not great. It's just kind of okay. But notably, it is a really good search target if you already have everything that you need from your Recital Starling. So that's mostly why it's in here, and it's not bad to have that additional hand trap. Speaking of other hand traps and other such non-engine, the non-engine cards are the triple Maxi, the triple Ash Blossom. We're playing 2 Nibiru and triple Tacks. 3 triple Tactics Talents. And then the 2 Called By and the 1 Crossout. We really don't like Maxi, so we're playing a whole bunch of outs to that. Now, honestly, I did consider, instead of playing the Nibirus or instead of playing the Triple Tacks, I did consider playing the Gamma. Now, Gamma isn't great in this list, mostly due to the fact that you wouldn't really have much to go into off of it, because the extra deck is very tight, as well as you wouldn't really, you'd have to be giving up things like Triple Tack, which I find very valuable in the current metagame due to the Kashtiras, as well as you'd have to be giving up something like a Nibiru or an engine piece, which I just don't think is as worth it. So yeah, I think it's just better to play the 1 cross out and move on. And then, of course, we're playing the 1 Apex Avian as our target for the Smorg. Moving on to the extra deck, we are playing the Utopic Future with Utopic Draco Future, because we have a whole bunch of same rank monsters in the 2 Recital Starlings, which most of the time you will be making, which then easily allow you to go into the Utopic Draco Future. Yeah, Recital Starling is fantastic. Being able to search out either your Nerval or any of your Lyriluscs, or of course the DD Crow, is very nice. And on top of that, the attack gain effect is also very important, because if you make the Simorgh prior to making the Recital Starlings, you are then able to make your Simorgh even more difficult to deal with, which is very, very nice. Yeah, being able to... The difference between a 2400 Simorgh and a 3000 attack point Simorgh is quite significant. So there's that. We're also playing the one assembled Nightingale for the Zeus stuff, as well as sometimes it comes up where it's nice to have protection for your other Lyrilusc cards, so that's very nice as well. And then the one Ensemble Blue. We're also playing Downer and Zeus, and that's it for the Xyz. Then the only other thing that we're playing is a whole bunch of links. We're playing the one Almirage because it's actually very useful for a wide variety of reasons. Going into, like, normal summoning a Cobalt Sparrow, linking it off, and then going into Barrel Canary stuff really is useful, so having the Almirage for that is nice. Also having Almirage for Nerval or Kit, when you normal summon that, link it off, and then grab up your Karos there for the Almirage. That's also a great option. So there you go. We also have ourselves the Double Dragon Oaths, Double Dragon Lords with the Ancient Warriors. I'm playing one of that. We're playing the one Ferrigit, the one Simorgh, the one Apollosa, which honestly doesn't come up too much. This could be something else entirely, like, I don't know, maybe an Access Code, Underworld Goddess, or something like that. I couldn't really think of a better spot. I still think that Apollosa is nice to have, and I do make it from time to time, mostly in more, like, Link-centric hands, where it's just better to have, like, an Apollosa on top of, you know, whatever else. But yeah, this definitely could be something else. I don't know what, but it could be something. And then I'm playing 2 Shureg. Shureg is very nice if you have enough materials in your graveyard. Like, for example, you actually go through the full Fractal line with the Kit and into the Nerval, and then, you know, maybe something else as well. And then being able to go Shureg to get an additional search is very nice to kind of link it off for the Simorgh. So that's it for the list. Let's hop into the replays and show you how this deck performs. Alright, so here we are going second, but hey, Maxi, Nibiru, and DD Crow seems to be pretty good. Now I've started firing the Maxi in the draw phase, or the standby phase to play around Kashtiras, but of course, it gets negated. So now we're playing a 4-card versus 4-card. Hey, look at that, it's Kashtira, so I would have been pretty well off. My opponent's just going to make a rank 7, which happens to be Shangri-Ira here. They're going to go for the Rise Hard, banishing an Ogre, which is kind of interesting. They do happen to banish 2 Nervals, which is terrifying. They are going to negate 1 and, negate? Block a zone. That's the word that I was looking for. They also go, did you know Sacred Sword of the 7 Stars also allows you to banish from field? I didn't know that. Because everyone always banishes from hand. I just never saw it happen. But that's pretty cool. We draw a Crossout Designator, which is funny, to say the least. We're going to go for the Turquoise Warbler here, which will immediately be met by the Imperm. Now, I don't play the Imperm, so I can't Crossout Designate it, but it would have been nice. They also banished the Zeus here, which is funny, and you'll see why in a second. They're also going to go and block another zone. We're going to go for the Recital Starling here. I'm going to make sure that I detach the Turquoise Warbler here because we do have the Barrel Canary, so that's nice. We're going to grab up the Nerval here. We're going to go for the Barrel Canary, and I think you may have probably seen what I did there. Yeah, I did give the Shangri-Ira attack points. Trust. We're going to go for the Recital Starling and grab another monster here. We're going to go for the Sapphire Swallow, I guess, and then go to the battle phase. That's right. Recital Starling has a secondary effect that very, very rarely comes up. Or, sorry, the third effect that very, very rarely comes up. Where all battle damage you take from battles involving this Xyz summoned card is also inflicted to your opponent. So, not only are you taking the damage, but now your opponent is too. And hey, you have less life points than me. Good game! The funniest of OTKs, because it's literally just I'm running into you a whole bunch. Yeah, I don't like that this is... Sorry, I don't like if this is my only game plan, like with Makonko, but as a side option, it's hilarious to happen. Alright, and here we are going first, and that is a very Tri-Brigade hand. We're going to start off here with the Kit, normal summon it, go into the Almirage. Almirage is then going to allow it, or sorry, Kit is then going to mill the Nerval. Nerval will grab Karos. We're going to activate the Karos here, pitching the Nerval from our hand, and activate the effect of Karos in order to go for the Ferrijit. Ferrijit will then allow us to special summon this Cobalt Sparrow, which we search off of the Bird Call. So we're going to go and activate the Ferrijit here, and special summon with the Ferrijit effect, the Cobalt Sparrow. Cobalt Sparrow and the Ferrijit will then be used to go for some more. Now, I did activate the Almirage just to get it off of the field so that we can actually use our zone here. We're also going to put back the Apex Avian off of the Ferrijit, which we did happen to draw a second Cobalt Sparrow, which is funny, but not very good. So we're going to go for the Recital Starling here, and we're going to activate the effect in order to boost the Samorg, and then go for the Sapphire Swallow in order to go for the second Recital Starling. We're going to boost again, also attaching another material to make it 39 and untargetable. It's very big. We're also going to grab the Nerval as additional follow-up, and that's basically it. And then go for the Utopic Draco Future and pass. It's basically just Utopic, the Omni Negate of Apex Avian, and in Ash, but maybe it's something, you know? Anyway, they're going to start with the Foolish Burial, and I'm going to go, Ash. Here's the thing. Foolish Burial almost always is insane value, and no matter what, you're either going to have to Ash that target, or it's going to be something that they already can activate anyway, so almost always I just think it's a better option to just negate the Foolish Burial. It's at 1, just negate it. It's a problem. It doesn't matter they have Called Away, but there's that. I'm not gonna negate that. That just wouldn't make sense. However, I am gonna negate that Nimble Angler, because if I can keep 2s off of their side of the field, I'm feeling pretty good. And hey, Nimble Beaver, sure, I'll negate that. And then out comes Karos, and I go, what the heck? That was like the only thing that it could have been besides starter that would have won them that game, or at least allowed them to continue playing there. So I do think that negating that the Beaver was the correct play. But wow, Karos, yeah, sure. It's technically it's a pseudo mirror match. They're also going to go and do some very, very weird stuff. First of all, they grabbed Kit. Sure, that makes sense. Kind of weird that we didn't grab Fractal to immediately go for the Sure Egg, but okay, sure. Then they go for the Light Heart, instead of banishing 2 to special summon out the Kit from hand. But okay, you do you. They're going to go for the Sprint here. Cool. Sprint effect, send Angler. Okay, yeah. Summon 2, great. Mannequin Cat, awesome. Where are we going with this? Bring out the Almirage. Almirage is then going to be targeted in order to go into the Fractal. Fractal, go for 2. Okay, now comes the Ferrijit. Now, notably, did you notice? There was no zones for them. So, what does that mean? They gotta go into Gigantic Sprite. Cool. Well, now they can activate the Kit. They're gonna banish 2. Where's Shureg? How are we outing Utopic Draco? They don't know. So they make access code. And they forget to activate the effect of the access code. Huh? Anyway, out comes the Revolt. They're going to activate the access code. Cool, great, fantastic. They're going to pop my guy, and I'm like, that's totally fine. Now, to be fair, I should have activated the Almirage to protect prior to them actually activating the access code. That's my fault. But it's also funnier to just do this, because I know that they don't have an out to the Utopic Draco, and at that point, they just concede. And I'm like, what? They had Revolt. Granted, their zones were full, so it's not like that would have been the easiest of things. But they did hard summon the Ferrijit, so they would have just needed to get rid of 1 zone, which isn't hard to do. I don't know. It was very funny, to say the least. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. It was just funny. Alright, here we are once again going first, and wow, this hand is all Lyriluscs. But we drew Lyrilusc, Turquoise Warbler, and Cobalt Sparrow, which is literally the best combo in the deck. So we're going to go immediately for the Nerval, grab up the Recital Star, or summon the Recital Starling, go for the Sapphire Swallow, go for the second Recital Starling, activate the effect of detaching the Nerval, grabbing up the Celeste Wagtail here, and then we're going to grab the Fractal, because guess what? I haven't normal summoned. We're going to go for the Utopic Future into the Utopic Draco Future, and I put it in attack position this time because it's funny. And then we're going to normal summon the Fractal and go for the Ferrijit. Ferrijit will special summon out the Celeste Wagtail. Celeste Wagtail grabs up the Bird Call, which will be used for something, I'm sure. We're going to go for the Samorg here, and we're going to activate the Ferrijit and draw a second Bird Call, which is funny, I guess. We're going to dump the Sapphire Swallow because I accidentally banished it because I'm a fool. Whoopsie. Anyway, we're going to grab the Barrel Canary here, and now we're going to go for the Barrel Canary effect, targeting that Sapphire Swallow, which I did happen to banish, or send to the graveyard, technically. And then we're going to attach an additional material with that Sapphire Swallow's effect, and then attach a 4th material. That's basically what I wanted it to do. So now I have the 4 material on Zomblue, the Apex Avian, the Utopic Draco, and the Bird of Sovereignty. I'm going to activate in the standby phase the Maxi, because cool, fair, and balanced Yu-Gi-Oh! Is being played. My opponent is going to reveal the Dark Beckoning Beast, and I'm like, okay, this is obviously Sprite. So, I'm going to negate this and steal, because they've already used their normal. And then they reveal... It's actually Sacred Beasts. Yes, there are Sprite cards in here, but they're also playing Sacred Beasts. They negate everything. Cool, sure. Well, Nibiru and a Prayer, I guess, at this point. I guess I hope I draw, like, Ash Blossom that does something. They're going to get out the Hammond here, which is cool. They're going to go for the Fallen Paradise. They're going to activate the effect of the Fallen Paradise. They're going to go for the Druisworm. And guess what? I actually don't have a light or dark in my graveyard. Wild. So they target their own graveyard. And, well, DD Crow. And then they scoop. I don't know why they scooped there. That is a pretty decent position. You walk into... Well, I guess they only have the one monster, but I can't target it or really do... Oh, no, I do have Sure Egg. It's not a great position, but it's not a bad position. It's not like I have easy access to Sure Egg. And you can just kind of, like, pick things off, maybe? I don't... You could at least get rid of the Utopic Draco, which is nice. But, yeah, there you go. That's what the deck does sometimes. Alright, and here we are once again going first. And, hey, look, it's the same combo. Yeah, I wanted to show you. Sometimes the deck does this. This happened, like, so often. I think, genuinely, Master Duel players just don't like that so much that their flight or fight response kicks in, and half of them just disconnect, and the other half punch their computer, and the computer dies. I think those are the two options. It's so common how often where I go first, and I reveal a Tri-Brigade card or a Lyrilusc card that they just auto-scoop. It's hilarious. Alright, we're back with the deck, and I've said my spiel about this deck countless number of times because it is one of my favorite decks of all time, if not my favorite deck of all time, and it is for a good reason. I think that this deck is a very interesting, or has a very interesting capability of both playing first and playing second. It can easily break boards while also being able to set up boards pretty effectively. I like the way that it ends on its end boards. I love the Tri-Brigade cards. I think that they are very interesting, and I do believe that this is one of the more dynamic builds of Tri-Brigade, or dynamic pairings of Tri-Brigade, with the very cool and fun rank 1 spam strategy that Lyrilusc is, while also having those Tri-Brigade cards in there as well to help facilitate with, like, link summoning and stuff like that. So, all in all, I love this deck. I think it's very fun. I do think that it's pretty well positioned, even though it's not particularly great. And I do think that it's just overall a strong contender for the meta right now. And if you want to play it, honestly, you should have hopped on board, like, a year ago, but it's still a good deck, and I still thoroughly enjoy it. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy it. If you did, I like us very much, so appreciate it, and if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh!, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.